Hello and welcome back to another episode of Civilization Reborn. This is episode 4, and if you haven't seen the previous 3 episodes, I suggest you do that now. And if you like today's episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. So, first things first, we go over here to Lake Michigan, and you might see that it's all blacked out. And we are going to do this thing called They Discover the Entirety of Lake Michigan because I want them to. We also see that they discover the entirety of Lake Huron and the entirety of Lake Superior. So now with that out of the way, we go over here to Green Bay, and they are kind of in a little bit of a trade war with these orange guys over here. They don't like them a lot. They kind of want to control the trade that they are getting, which is why they invaded this country up here and blocked them off. And then to counteract this, these orange guys then expanded over here and set up a trading city over here to trade with them, which kind of pissed off Green Bay. So what they're going to do is they are going to claim these islands over here, which will then kind of like block these orange guys off from trade, as they now have the naval advantage to just go like that. And yeah, look at that. They can't really do anything. As well as, bam, they can't really get through there. So yeah, this really pisses off the orange guys who are going to send people into here. But as they are sending people into here, they find that Green Bay has sent a bunch of settlers over here, and that this is all basically claimed by Green Bay, and there's not really anything the orange guys can do about it. And this really pisses off these orange guys, and it pisses them off so much. This pisses them off so much that they are going to declare war on Green Bay. We start this war off by Wisconsin sending its troops into Green Bay and taking over these settlements. We also see their troops cross over and take out this little exclave of Green Bay and basically taking it all. Now Wisconsin controls all of Green Bay's exclaves. But in the south, Wisconsin is kind of losing a little bit. Green Bay is sending the troops. They captured these two major cities over here. And out west, they send their troops and fight in these lake regions over here. And since, as you may know or may not know, the Wisconsinites and the Chicagoans are in an alliance, same with the Green Bayers and the Sheboyans. So both of their alliance activate, and now Chicago joins the war, and same with Sheboygan. And with Chicago's entry into the war, they start off by invading Sheboygan. It's very easy. These guys aren't very strong. They capture this major city, then go up to here to Lake Winnebago, capture their city over here, and then threaten the capital of Sheboygan, which is Sheboygan. And then the Chicagoans find a lot of success over here in Wisconsin. They move up the river and capture this major city. They also, out west, move their troops up this river over here and capture another major city. And then their troops push into their territory and capture a bunch of land really quickly. They also move their troops out from Sheboygan and into Wisconsin and capture another major city. Back over here in Wisconsin, we see that Green Bay launches a naval invasion around these orange guys' capital, and as well as making a huge push, and eventually their capital is under siege, which is not good for these orange guys up here. So they then bring all their forces back from the settlements over here and start to attack these guys, or start to attack Green Bay, which is going okay for them. Out west, Escanaba finds more success. They go over and capture these two major cities over here. They then move downriver and capture this major city over here. Down here in Chicago, Chicago is completely wipes out Sheboygan. It is no longer, it is now under complete Chicagoan occupation, and now the capital of Green Bay is indeed threatened because, well, Chicago is pretty close to their capital. We also see Chicago move upriver and continue capturing major cities and causing a lot of havoc in the western regions of Green Bay. We also see Chicago move its troops closer to Green Bay's capital, which forces Green Bay to move their troops away from, or to move their troops out of Escanaba and to reinforce the front lines over here, which then leads to Escanaba, pushing in and capturing back two major cities and relieving the stress of the capital, but they are still under siege. We also see Traverse City join in this war, and all they do is capture these islands that Green Bay has, and that's all they do. Once they do that, they don't bother helping with the rest of this. So now we see something else happening, and that is going to be a naval invasion by Escanaba, and they are going to invade these two islands, and then they are going to launch an invasion of the Dora Peninsula, and they get really, really close to the capital of Green Bay, which really spooks Green Bay. They basically pull all their troops back to their capital to help defend, which mean and they're successful in their defense. They push back the naval invasion all the way back here to the tip. We also see them push Chicago back down here, back to the borders of Sheboygan. We also see Green Bay able to retake this major city down here. But with the winds down here, we see the losses of the siege of Escanaba's capital, and it's basically not good. They push them all the way back. They also push them back over here. They also then push down the river and then also meet up with Chicago, and now Green Bay is split in two, and that is not good for Green Bay because now are split in two. They can't protect this half their country anymore. But this is great news for Chicago as it allows them to sweep into this new empty land and take out this major city over here. Escanaba also pushes down over here and captures this major city as well as this one over here, and the West basically falls to Chicago and Escanaba. So now, with this major victory out West, Escanaba kicks the Green Bayers completely out of their country, and they are able to fight more, and they are able to push into their country. They also push down the Dora Peninsula. They then also go over here to this river over here, and with the Chicagoans who push up and capture this major city, they then cut off the capital of Green Bay from whatever's left of western Green Bay, which then leaves the Chicagoans to go in and capture a bunch of major cities. Same with the Escanabans. And with the nearing of the Escanaban troops, we see the surrender of Green Bay over to the Chicagoans and the Escanabans. So let us take a look at this peace treaty over here. So this is the peace treaty at the end of the war. Chicago gets all of this as well as the entirety of Sheboygan. Sheboygan doesn't exist anymore. You also see that Escanaba gets this much of Green Bay. We also see that they get all of Green Bay settlements of the Upper Peninsula. We also see that they then claim the rest of the Upper Peninsula. This isn't part of the treaty, but they just do it anyways. They also get to control the entirety of the Dora Peninsula as well as this little island over here. And this is to make sure that Green Bay can never restrict their trade again. Green Bay is severely weakened now. They still exist. They are just basically a puppet of Chicago. And yeah, Chicago is really huge now. So yeah, they are basically the de facto strongest empire currently around. We also see at the end of this war a whole bunch of refugees from Wisconsin fleeing west. They don't want to be around here anymore, so they go west. They go all the way across Iowa, across into Minnesota, and then they continue west. They follow this river up here. They discover a whole bunch of new stuff over here, all this whole river region, and they continue going up this river until they eventually discover the Black Hills, and this they decide is far enough west away from all of this, and so they settle down here in the Black Hills. The refugees then set up their own country over here in the Black Hills region. They are fairly nomadic, except for like around the Black Hills region, and their border is basically this river down here. These guys spend or take like a year or so to just like go all the way west and settle in the Black Hills, and they are now like the farthest west anyone has ever been. No one has really gone that west before. And they also noticed that it's a lot drier out, not very good for farming, but they still call this home anyways. We then see Chicago invade the rest of the small countries that are surrounding the Lake Michigan area, and they invade these countries because, well, why not? Why not invade these countries? It's cool to invade countries that are small and weak. They also then claim all of this area of the Midwest and Indiana, and the reason they do this is because, well, they want to. They want to maintain their strength. They want to exert their strength over the entire Midwest region, which also makes the Michiganders a little nervous, but for now, they aren't really touching them, so they don't really mind. In fact, Detroit also kind of trades with them a little, but not by much. And so that is going to do it for today. I hope you liked this video. And if you did, once again, like, comment, and subscribe. That would be really cool if you did. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.